Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I am going to be talking about my favorite F word today. You are going to see me twice. I'm going to be doing this live right now, and then I'm going to hop back on, and we're going to start a 5-day challenge. um, and so that is all going to give you all these little micro wins to kind of just help heal your soul and feel good about yourself and fill your own cup and all the things. So I am going to do this, and then I'm going to get off, and then I'm going to come back on, and we're going to do the things. But today I wanted to talk with you about my favorite F word, which is not what you imagine. That's actually well, I don't know, they're probably tied because I do like to curse. But my favorite F word is fear. Believe it or not, it is fear. And so there are a couple of acronyms for fear that I always like to share. And so one of them is false evidence appearing real, 100%. Fuck everything and run, like that one too. And then the third one is feel everything and rise. So good, right? And so fear is a survival mechanism, okay? And it has kept us humans safe for eons, okay? Excuse me, I am coming off of what I thought was allergies, but it was actually a bad cold. So there are 4 types of fear. We've got fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, okay? And they show up in your body. And so they show up in your body via your central nervous system, which is then divided out into 2 sections, your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is where the fight, flight, and fawn response live. And then your parasympathetic is where hi Kyla, is where your freeze response lives. All right. And so what happens? So we got fight and flight, right? You're either fighting or you're fleeing. And then there's fawning, which is all about people pleasing, tending and befriending, over giving, and it's basically aligning with your enemy, so to speak, right? Where you're just like, ooh, that person looks like a threat, but I'm going to tend to them. I'm going to befriend them to make sure that I am safe. Okay, those are all housed in your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system, what happens to your body is your temperature goes up, you get hot, your adrenaline starts to pump. Sometimes you get like stuttered or stammered speech. You get like, some people get like the redness on their like neck or their chest, like they get blotchy. Your heartbeat starts to increase, like you are pumping so you could essentially get away from this saber-toothed tiger, okay? Conversely, when you go into freeze, it's like the deer in the headlights. It's just you're in freeze mode. Your body temperature gets cold, your breathing gets shallow, and your heart rate actually drops as well. Why are these things important? It is important because what happens is when you go into these 4 fear modes, or one of the 4 fear modes, your prefrontal cortex, your executive functioning, the one that's like, I'm gonna, do a Facebook Live, or I'm gonna make a spreadsheet, or I'm gonna it's your personality, it's how you present to the world. They don't function at the same time. So when you go into, like when shit hits the fan, like you're kind of living your life and then shit hits the fan, you're in your prefrontal cortex and then something happens and then all of a sudden you're getting chased by this saber-toothed tiger, right? So you can't just talk yourself out of it because you literally think that you're going to die, right? And so if you go into fight, flight, or fawn mode, either way, we have to work physiologically. We have to work with your body. Let me just back that up. So, but if you go into one of those 3 modes, what happens is you want to do something that is going to cool down your nervous system. You want to drink ice water. That is the number one thing. I have clients that get mad at me all the time who've been working with me a while, and they're like, I've been working with you this long and you're just telling me this. So I like to kind of just let everybody know that up front. So if you are nervous or you're like about to give a speech or like whatever it is, ice water or ice packs. Like if you have to like say something that you're like kind of nervous or scared to say to another person, get an ice pack or get ice water, because what happens is that ice literally cools down your body. Remember, fight, flight, and fawn, your temperature raises. And so when you cool down your body, it is sending the message to your brain that you're no longer getting chased by the saber-toothed tiger, and cools your body down, and then gets out of that amygdala and that fear mode and gets you back into your executive functioning. Okay? Super important. Conversely, if you go into freeze mode and you're like the deer in the headlights, or like those nature documentaries where you see the little animal and it's like over by the river, and then all of a sudden a predator comes and it just keels over and it like literally looks like it's dead. That's the freeze mode. Okay. And so that happens to humans too, because we're part of like the animal kingdom. Like we're all sentient beings. And so, excuse me. So to get out of freeze mode and your body again gets cold, you want to do anything that's going to warm it up. Take a warm shower. Also, you could take an ice shower. That's why those those ice plunges are a big thing right now. Gets you out of shock, people. So many people are just living in shock, which is why those ice plunges are all the fucking rage. Like I was just kind of like zoning out and like, you know, daydreaming. And when that happens, like downloads come, and I was thinking about it. And I was thinking about the nervous system and how it works energetically with like anxiety and depression, right? So if you are prone to depression, that means you're living really mostly in that parasympathetic nervous system. You are in that, your energy is depressed, right? And it's low energy. And so a lot of times, it is that deer in the headlight. It is that freeze mode. And so for those who are prone to depression, it would be good to do things that are warming to your system. And like such as like, again, going back to the freeze response, like herbal tea or a weighted blanket or a heated blanket. I love my heated blanket. My husband makes fun of me that I have it on until like July here, but it is Seattle. So there's that. I literally have it off for like a month during the year. Like herbal teas or fleece or anything that's going to warm your body up. Hot yoga, that would be really good. And then also for those who are tend towards this, again, going back to like that download I got, like if you are very anxious, and anything that is going to be cooling for you. So like those ice plunges. Yeah. I don't think I could do those. You know, so think about what your natural state is. Like, are you naturally like in the freeze mode, the parasympathetic, then you want to do stuff to lift that energy. And conversely, if you're running on that fight, flight, fawn mode, we want to do things that are going to cool it down. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. So how does fear show up in your body? And it could be a number of different ways. For me, like I went into freeze mode after Jack died. It was major trauma response and I just shut down. And so I, had to do the baby steps eventually to get myself out of it. But think about it, like the next time you have to give a presentation at work, or the next time you have to set a boundary with somebody that might be a little scary for you to do, make sure you have these things. Make sure you have an ice pack or some ice water with you to help your nervous system so you could stay in your executive functioning. And then once you're there, that's when the baby steps start to happen. What are these little incremental baby steps that you could take to move yourself out of fear and stay in your executive functioning? That is what I wanted to share with you all today. I am going to be back in just a few minutes because I'm going to do a challenge every day this week, because I want to give you some small little wins to help you stay on track. And then if you want more, I am starting a group program that starts June 8th. And this is all little itty bitty things that are going to be in the bigger group. So stay tuned. Kyla, if you're still there, you could do the challenge with me, and you don't have to do them like all right now. They're going to be up for you guys to do. So I will be back in a few minutes, and I will see you in a minute. Bye.